A stock catalyst just hit and the price is starting to pump, but the market is closed. Do you wait until 9:30 a.m. and risk missing the move? Or do you jump into pre-market trading? Extended hours offers some of the biggest stock moves you'll ever see, but they also come with hidden costs that can destroy beginner traders. So here's how to make pre-market, after hours, and even the overnight session of trading work, when they're worth using and when staying out will save you money. Let's start with structure and what usually gets traders into trouble when trading pre-market or after hours. Then get into the benefits of them and how I actually trade these conditions. Pre-market runs roughly from 4 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. Eastern. Regular hours are 9:30 to 4 p.m. and after hours is 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Now, certain brokers like Robinhood and Interactive Brokers, they offer an overnight session that exists on a handful of alternative venues outside the main exchanges. That overnight session occurs between 8 p.m. and 4 a.m. Eastern. All of these trading sessions are real trading sessions, but they do not share the same liquidity or access. Outside regular market hours, fewer players are involved, and especially in the overnight session. They tend to be more sophisticated players to even have access. Because how many of you all even knew this overnight session existed? The beautiful part of these sessions is that because most market participants are literally asleep during these times, they can offer less competition for those that participate in them. Imagine a huge geopolitical headline that moves markets multiple percents, but all your peer traders are asleep. Yep, that's the beauty of these sessions and exactly what happened last year in 2025 with some of the Trump-China trade talks. One commonality across all these sessions is that there is far less liquidity and the bid-ask spreads widen. Here's the basic analogy for beginners. If I want to buy a TV outside regular business hours, my options are going to be far slimmer, or I might need to pay a higher price for a store willing to sell me the TV outside of normal business hours. Same goes for stocks. That means at a minimum, it is going to be more expensive getting in and out of positions, and also that price can move a lot on very little volume. In other words, there's less liquidity. Especially if you're trying to trade large size, it might take a lot of incentive to find someone to transact with you. That incentive comes in the form of favorable prices for them and less favorable prices for you. Additionally, due to the thinner order book, you will need to be far more careful about using stop orders and market orders. If you use a stop limit order, you will need to queue the order much more aggressively through the trigger price if you want the fill. I would urge you generally not to use market orders at all during any of these sessions. One of the biggest mistakes newer traders make is not accounting for that increased slippage before taking a trade. Because you are entering and exiting at worse prices, it makes the barrier to entry much higher, and you need to be far more selective in your trading. Now, let's talk about what pre-market is actually good for. I find that the traders most commonly involved pre-market are those that trade microcap stocks. Microcap stocks tend to have a ton of early morning news releases. These stocks, because they're so small in market cap, can sometimes even move tens of percent or even hundreds of percent all before the market opens. Check out these charts, for example. Micro cap traders love to take advantage of all that volatility. Also, because of lower liquidity in the very early hours, especially on the start of pre-market trading at 4 a.m., it is very common to see price spikes as the venues and exchanges open, which oftentimes can be faded profitably if you are trading pre-market. You always want to be aware of every half-hour increment during which it is very common for news to come out. The most common time for news to come out is 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m., and 9 a.m. in the pre-market. Breaking news traders love to be in their seat with their hands on the keys during those time increments. Pre-market levels often matter later during the regular session, even if you never place a single trade before the open. While I always don't consider pre-market levels in trading to be relevant during the regular session, if the stock is doing real volume and a decent percentage of volume compared to how much it normally trades during regular hours, I often find that those pre-market levels can in fact be meaningful, and they do have value when you trade off of them. If we're talking only about a few thousand shares here and there, I don't consider those transactions relevant to the regular market hours trading whatsoever. I find myself most often trading the pre-market session for breaking news headlines, because many companies tend to issue their PRs, like I mentioned, around 8 a.m., 8:30, and 9 ahead of that opening bell. It was an unstated rule at Trillium, the firm where I worked and managed a trading floor, that during those times you always had your hands on the keys and were ready for whatever headlines came out. Another great opportunity for pre-market trading comes from those microcap stocks I was talking about that often can make weird gaps or big moves due to the liquidity during these sessions. Admittedly, you need to be extremely careful trading stocks like that, but I would be remiss to not mention how many traders find opportunities in that section of the market. After-hours trading is similar in concept to pre-market, but I find that the largest opportunities after hours tend to come from stocks that are reporting earnings. The biggest and most followed companies in the world tend to report their earnings after hours, particularly those in the tech space. Companies like Tesla, Nvidia, and Apple all report their earnings after the close, not before. And trading these earnings releases can be incredible opportunities for traders. The same disclaimers apply in that you need to be careful upon the initial release of the earnings because of the thinner liquidity and wider spreads. Trading earnings after hours should only be reserved for experienced traders due to how quick and severe these moves can be. Another great opportunity after hours for traders is in microcaps, which often use that session to release news of a secondary offering. For these companies, raising capital is not a rare event. Dilution is a tool they use regularly, and after-hours announcements allow information to be released after their stock has been run up during market hours. That is another great opportunity for breaking news traders, and also something to be aware of if you are longing some of these microcap stocks past a regular trading hours session. Ignoring that risk is one of the most common early career mistakes, and I cover how I've learned to trade the news in this video. Now let's briefly talk about overnight trading, which occurs from 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. Some brokers, like Robinhood and Interactive Brokers, allow for this trading, which is even less liquid and less transparent than the pre-market and after-hours session. The reason is liquidity is fragmented and prices can move on tiny volume, and it often doesn't represent durable price discovery. Someday, sooner rather than later, markets will move to 24/7 trading, but for now, what should beginners actually do if you're trading overnight? First, assume that liquidity is way worse than what you're used to in the regular hours session. Use limit orders only, trade smaller size, or don't trade at all. And always consider dilution risk before holding anything overnight. Some traders tend to love trading these extended sessions because they believe that reading the tape is cleaner, with less noise from different algorithms and various market participants that are involved during the regular trading hours. But extended hours trading environments function differently. They carry higher execution risk, and they contain structural hazards that beginners consistently underestimate. There is nothing wrong with studying or trading them, but you need to dip your toes in far more cautiously than if it was regular trading sessions. I know there are tons of beginners out there watching these videos. If there are other beginner topics you want me to hit, make sure to drop a comment with your request below. Thank you for watching, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one.